We're at TelecomAsia 2017 in Singapore. I'm Lachlan Cahoon, I'm the Group Editor at TelecomAsia, and we're talking video, and we're talking about how content providers are partnering with operators to deliver video. I'm joined by Benjamin Silva from Huawei and Erik Pence. He's the CEO from Quickflix. Can I start with you, Benjamin? Can I ask, how is Huawei bridging the divide between operators and content providers?
A lot of very different ways, but I mean, from Huawei's perspective, we try to link all the content producers with the carriers. We've developed our own hosting center and our own platform so that we take all the burden of the carriers trying to find their own content, pay exorbitant amounts of money, and they're voice and data people, so they don't really know how to run an entertainment company. So bridging the gap between the two and getting help from the actual content producers to help put together programs and services that the carriers can actually just offer to their clients without having to go through all the pain of trying to build them on their own. So it bridges the gap, it allows them a faster time to market, it allows them to refresh things significantly easier. And for the content producers, they get a guarantee, a much closer guarantee that the service is actually going to work. And we get them to be hands-on as well, to help with programming, help with marketing, help with subscriber acquisition, a lot of the things that the carriers just don't know how to do.
What new technologies or solutions do you have in the market that are helping driving this?
Well, we've built 8 hosting centers around the world specifically to deal with carriers. And so it's an entire streaming platform, content management platform, CDN platform. So basically we offer the entire service to the carriers as a white label. They put their name on it and out they go.
Huawei and Quickflix have been partners for several years now. I believe this started in devices and has moved to technologies. Can you describe the partnership between the two companies?
Yes, certainly. So Quickflix is on a number of platforms on a global scale. And when we looked at Huawei, the device itself, we thought that was a great place to have our application. So the device has been very important to our customer base, and we've had an application on that device for quite some time. Now as we look forward, and especially into the Southeast Asia area, Huawei is being very instrumental in our expansion of the service and bringing premium TVOD service into carrier groups and consumers throughout this region. So we're very excited about our ongoing partnership with them.
Erik, the partnership model's changed and there's been a lot of innovation around that. Could you describe how Quickflix has reinvented its partnerships?
Yes, when we originally took the company over about a year ago, it was primarily focused in the SVOD space, and we quickly went and really kind of discussed with our content partners about changing that to a more premium, earlier window TVOD space. So looking at the competitive marketplace that we were in, we thought that it would be much easier and a much better service to our customers to actually offer that premium TVOD. So from a content partner perspective, we really looked at moving this SVOD into that early window TVOD.
They say that content has to be both global and local. How does that work for Quickflix and your model?
Obviously right now we're in Australia and New Zealand primarily, so in both of those territories we are working both with Hollywood studios, but also we do deals with all of the local providers. So whether that be a Mad Men or any of the local kind of second tier indie producers, we're definitely engaged with all of those and make sure that the platform is available for that. We also see, especially like in New Zealand, where there's a huge desire to have the local content on the services. I think when we look into this region, it's even more apparent that local content really drives a lot of the consumption. So in this area, we're spending a lot of time trying to find those right partnerships, kind of looking at the box office and determining, okay, what's the top 10 for box office numbers, and making sure that our service really kind of is on par with what the theatrical pieces are doing.
We've already seen a lot of change in this area. We're going to see more. What future changes and innovations do you think we can expect?
Well, I think cloud PVR and cloud DVR is starting to make a really big push into the marketplace from a consumer perspective. So I think carriers and all service providers at this stage of the game are going to have to start looking at it's not just about VOD, taking live and linear channels, because as YouTube and all the other basic OTT operators are starting to put linear channels in play, people are going to want to record them. So having that ability of doing it in the cloud so they can watch it anytime, anywhere is going to change, be a dynamic change. It's already happening in the US, it's happening in Latin America, and it'll start happening in Asia Pacific. I think that's going to be one of the biggest game changers that's going on. And then I think once they figure out the business model behind VR, I think that's going to be one of the biggest changes. I mean, when Ready Player One comes out in March, which is the virtual reality movie directed by Steven Spielberg, if they release it in VR, then it'll be the first time that people really truly get to understand what VR is all about. And I think that'll be a takeoff point for that. And I think that's, you know, I think a lot of the analysts in the U.S. probably said it best. It'll be the most disruptive technology in the history of mankind. So we're just not there yet. So I think there's a lot of things coming at this stage of the game that, you know, networks are going to have to accommodate for that. It's much higher bandwidth. 5G is going to become a necessity to do that. So there's a lot of technology around that to deliver the next generation of content. So it'll be exciting.
So I think that you know, as technology gets faster and faster, you know, it's at a rampant speed now, and it causes a bit of confusion with the consumer. It causes confusion with content providers. What are we licensing to now? What is that technology? What's this? We don't even understand what we're licensing to now. So it's it creates a lot of challenges, but like Ben says, it's also extremely exciting, and there's a lot of great stuff that's out there. I think that it also creates a real fragmented piece on how people are consuming. So understanding the technology infrastructure that you build in order to support all these different ways that you can consume is extremely important, and we are seeing some great advances coming across that. So we're excited to see what the next couple of years are going to bring.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time.